Listen up, Toronto, it's 2023 and I'm going to give you a real estate market update for the month of January and some predictions for the rest of the year. Hi, I'm Jackie Othen here, your Toronto Realtor. If you're looking for the latest and greatest in real estate updates, you want to hit the subscribe button down below and remember to turn that bell on for notifications so you don't miss an update from our team. So it's no surprise that 2022 real estate ended up in a little bit of a slump, but the good news is prices were still up almost 9% year over year when you look at 2022 to 2021. I hate to focus on the month over month numbers from time to time because real estate in Toronto is very seasonal, and sometimes focusing so much on the highs and lows between spring and fall markets or summer markets is where a lot of information is lost in translation. So for me, on a wholesale look, I'm looking at how did we do in 2022 over 2021, and the good news is real estate is still up. While inventory shortages were a significant problem last year and less homes sold, almost 40% less than the year prior, that's just the reality of things. We saw that with the interest rate hikes starting in the summertime and springtime, things really ground to a halt very quickly, and we had, I believe, 7 of those interest rate hikes last year. So you can imagine with every hike, things got a little bit more expensive for buyers and things got a little bit more crunched for sellers, so the prices started to shave down. So it's no shock, there were less inventory, there were less people making moves, less purchases happening. However, we're in 2023 and my prediction is that while we're going to hold much of a flat line in terms of pricing for the first quarter, I'm going to say maybe even in the second quarter, I do believe that we're going to get back to business of people buying and selling homes very quickly, and we can already see that the first few weeks of the month have opened up and people are buying nice homes that came out that were priced right in nice locations. And I'm going to say nice with, there's a real lean on new product. Buyers love new product. Why? Because it's new, they don't need to invest any money to do a lot of things to the property, and in most cases, they can go 10 years without making improvements that cost cash out of pocket. So that's a really important thing to note. If you're looking for new product, that's probably where a lot of the buyers that you're going to compete with are. It's not to say that older homes are not good choices. You can actually probably find better deals in the older homes. But the question is, are you going to have the capital to make the improvements to those homes with the cost of the interest rates right now? You're probably going to want to take a big chunk, if not all of the money that you've got saved, to put it down and attack the mortgage and make sure that your payments are affordable. Affordability is going to be a real significant challenge for a lot of homeowners. And I'm going to say that the first few listings that we're going to see that open up across the GTA, the first 100 or 1,000 that we're going to see, are probably going to be people who must sell their homes for financial reasons, either feeling the compression, feeling the pressure of the high mortgage payments. Maybe they bought a year ago or 2 years ago and didn't actually get into a fixed or locked in mortgage rate, and so they're sitting on variables and they've ridden that wave of all of those rate hikes, and as a family or as an individual, the payments are just becoming overwhelming. So I'm going to say those are probably going to be the first few people who hit the market. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, great, that's where I can find the deals because you're a buyer watching this, I'm going to tell you that's not always the case. You're not always going to get a screaming deal on something, especially if it's priced right and it's a hot product. So you want to be ready to close quickly this year if you're a shopper, if you're a buyer, because if a seller's in distress and you offer them $1.5 million and somebody else offers them $1.5 million and one person has a very long closing and someone's got a 30-day closing, you can imagine that a seller under stress is going to take the quick closing and not the long closing. And sometimes even if you throw them more money, they're not going to want to sit in the house with the pressure of bills on top of them for months. So winner, winner, chicken dinner is going to go to the buyers who are willing to close quickly, who are ready, and who can buy without contingencies. So this market largely is going to have financial condition, home inspection condition, all sorts of conditions is my guess for the year and my estimate for the year. However, there are a lot of deep pockets still in the city of the GTA and around the Toronto area and York region, and you're going to see that people with those pockets who are lined, who are able to buy firm, are still going to be the winners, because the firm offer to a distressed seller or any other seller for that matter is still an amazing firm offer. So I would talk to your bank right now if you're thinking of entering the market and figure out to what price you can buy firm and at what price you cannot buy firm, because that might be the actual reason that you win in a multiple offer situation, or that you buy a house the first day it comes out and beat out the competition. My other prediction for the year is this wonderful weather that we've seen in the first 2 weeks. This really unusually mild weather has actually helped get people out of their homes sooner. Buyers are just waiting desperately for inventory because there's been such a standstill for 6 or 7 months. And we are going to see people who need to upsize, who have cash, who've got amazing equity, still making moves. Are we going to see that in the month of January? No. I'm going to say my guess is closer to March or April. Those people will come out of the woodwork alongside of the downsizers. Most downsizers, if they're here, they don't want to be selling their homes. If they're seniors in the winter, they're going to want to come back from their holidays down south. If they're snowbirds, they're going to want to get back settled, pack up their house and get going, or they want to be able to sell it in mild weather, which will be around April. So I do believe there will be a strong change in the market tone come April, May, and June. Will it push prices way up? That's yet to be determined, but there will be more activity, I promise you, in the market in April, May, and June this year for certain. For those of you who are savvy buyers and sellers and who follow real estate stats and updates, you know that the government last summer, fall, tried to implement rules and definitely went ahead and implemented the new policy changes where foreign buyers are not able to buy. There's a foreign buyer ban for the next 2 years, which I don't really want to debate here. I've got my own thoughts about it. I don't know that it was a wonderful thing to do. I understand the affordability crisis that we're having in Toronto real estate, but I don't know that that was a super wise decision with all of the already declining real estate market and market compression we were going under. I think it was too many changes all at once. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at the market to slow it down, and I don't believe that it's in the benefit of most homeowners, most Torontonians, most Ontarians. So we're not going to talk about that anymore, but I'm just going to tell you that there are rules whereby a foreign buyer is not able to buy property here for at least 2 years, for the next 2 years, unless that policy changes, until they are actually a permanent resident here. We all know there's going to be all sorts of loopholes. We're going to see visa students that parents have sent from abroad, and they're going to start putting properties in their names. That's not a new trick. That's been an old trick forever. We're going to see all sorts of little things that happen, and a lot of people taking the bait and actually not following the rules, but eating that $10,000 fine or the forced sale that the government says, we might force you to sell your property. I really don't think that that's going to happen. They're going to be caught in so much CERB cleanup and pandemic cleanup and all the financial stuff that's happening around this province anyway. I don't think that they're going to get there to slap people's wrists or give people shit for owning real estate in Toronto when they're not supposed to. I would love to hear from you. If you agree, if you disagree, you can post your comments below. But I just think that rule right now was probably at the wrong time. And I do understand that many communities of Toronto are highly, highly, highly driven and have grown dramatically because of foreign ownership. But the reality is a lot of those foreign buyers are here, are living here, or are renting their properties to our children or our children's friends or our children's children. And those properties are not all sitting vacant like the government would like us to believe. But anyway, a debate for another day. I wish good things for the real estate market here in 2023. If you're a home seller, it's important to have great representation behind you, to be priced right, and really to get value out of the services that realtors are providing you. And if you don't know what that means, I'm going to tell you. Interview agents, go online, read reviews of realtors and real estate professionals, and make sure that whoever you're going to hire is going to do as much as possible. I'm going to give you the highest and best use for the commission that you're paying them to get your home sold, to help you transition. Just one final thing to wrap up this video, and these are my opinions, not those of anybody else. These are just solely my opinions. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think the trends are going to be this year? What do you think is going to be the driving force? Where do you think interest rates are going to go? And what are you thinking about real estate in general in the city of Toronto? I know for most of you watching this, it's still crazy unaffordable. For the rest of you, you are waiting patiently for the recovery, which I expect to be anywhere from 18 months to 24 months from now. And once again, Happy New Year and happy selling in 2023.